The 5.7 Hemi engine is one of the last bulletproof V8 machines on the market, but even though it's extremely reliable and good to drive, it still has a very unpleasant common problem with lifters. If you mainly drive your vehicle in city traffic at low RPMs and also let the engine idle for long periods of time, there is a high chance you will experience so-called Hemi ticking, which is the first phase of lifters going bad. Hemi lifters need proper lubrication to last long, but unfortunately at low RPMs the lubrication is not perfect. So unless the engine is driven actively, it will suffer from this common problem sooner or later. Now, the most important thing is to spot the symptoms of Hemi lifters failure before the engine is damaged further. So this short video is focused on the symptoms that you should keep an eye on if you own a vehicle with this engine. First of all, ticking is the first early symptom of lifters being unhappy. This ticking mostly occurs when you cold start the vehicle and it goes away after the oil is warm and not so viscose. Also, lots of owners will switch to 5W30 oil for some reason, and this is the way to reduce the lifespan of the lifters. 5W20 seems to be the best option for these lifters, but as long as the ticking disappears after a minute of idling, this shouldn't be a reason for concern. If the engine keeps ticking when it's completely warmed up, this is the first sign that the lifters aren't happy. If this first symptom is ignored, you will start getting the check engine light now and then. It's important not to ignore it and read the codes, even with a simple cheap scanner that you can borrow from AutoZone or another big car parts store for several minutes. If you see the codes P0300, P0301, P0302 and all the way up to P0308, this is a strong call for lifters inspection. Your engine has started misfiring, and while you may not feel this yet thanks to 8 cylinders and a big displacement, it is a bad symptom that means the lifters may be heavily damaged. Of course, the misfiring codes may also tell you about other things like spark plugs or coils failure, but in Hemi engines it makes sense to check the lifters. If the misfiring codes are ignored, after some time the engine will start to vibrate and run rough. This is the last symptom before you get actual problems. Sometimes if you spot the lifter failure early stages, you can switch to thinner oil or adjust your driving style and keep driving the vehicle for many years without making things worse. But if your engine misfires and runs rough, the lifters will need to be replaced, which is a complicated job with about $2,000 worth of parts. Anyway, if you ignore everything, the engine will most likely die and you will pay north of $7,000 for engine replacement.